Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel where we discuss all things narcissism, and this video is going to be a few phrases to disarm a narcissist, to stop a narcissist from attacking you, to stop a narcissist raging out at you. Now, when it comes to dealing with narcissistic people, they can often get us into an emotional state where we feel we need to attack back. We want to get over on them. We want to put them in their place. We want to show them what we're made of. However, when you're dealing with self-entitled, arrogant people who lack the empathy to care for you and actually enjoy winding you up and watching your reactions, sometimes the best way to outsmart them is by not outsmarting them, by recognizing in your own mind the game that they are playing and no longer playing it with them, by shutting it down any way you can, by stroking their ego to keep yourself safe, to protect yourself. So when you are in a one-on-one situation with a narcissistic person and you just need to get yourself to safety, whether that's physically or get yourself to psychological safety so that they can't keep coming at you, they can't keep attacking you, they can't keep bringing you down because you've just disarmed them, there are a few phrases you can say. Now, these phrases will often go against everything you want to say to them, especially when you've realized how they've treated you, how they've hurt you, how they've manipulated you. It can go against every bone in your body of who you are as a person. However, you have to remember you are not doing these, you are not saying these to help them or to support them. You are saying these partly because they are true and partly because you're looking to protect yourself from them. You need to have a strong enough desire to want to protect yourself from them. Now, there are many people that through trauma bonding and Stockholm syndrome don't want to offend the person who is attacking them. And there are many people that go into that stage of anger and resentment that do want to attack the person that is offending them. We can all be at different stages. We've all lived a similar experience, but a different experience. So one of the first things when you're trying to have a conversation with a narcissistic person that at that moment in time you are unable to go no contact with, and they want you to agree with them. They want you to see their point of view. And if you don't, they're going to take you all around the houses on some major arguments to get you to agree with them. Or they're going to start shaming you or blaming you or claiming that nobody else agrees with you, that you're always in the wrong. Because narcissistic people always have to be right. So when it comes to dealing with this, we can try to aim to not enter the conversation in the first place. However, narcissistic people require that attention, so they will draw you into the conversation, especially if they're feeling that row down. And you don't particularly want to go against who you are as a person. You don't want to end up walking on eggshells around them to protect them. You shouldn't suppress yourself to serve them. However, you can often find yourself doing so. However, when it comes to dealing with a narcissistic person, sometimes you need to suppress your opinion and who you are as a person until you're safely out of the situation. So one phrase to disarm a narcissistic person is when they are coming at you, you can just turn around and say, I agree, that's your opinion. What a narcissistic person hears is you agree with them. Now, you have to watch your tone with this. Narcissistic people can sense sarcasm. They see that roll in the eyes. So you have to be careful with your tone when you approach them about this. You also have to take your emotions out of the conversation, because emotional manipulators need your emotions to get you going, to wind you up. So you need to take your emotions out of the equation. You need to recognize that they are not interested in your opinion. You can explain to them until you are blue in the face, and if it doesn't match what they want, they're not interested. So stop wasting your breath. Recognize this and shut down the conversation as quickly as you can by just saying, I agree, that's your opinion. And then when you leave, recognise that it's not your opinion. You understand that that's theirs. And if they're wrong, leave them to it. Let them go and figure it out by themselves. When they start devaluing other people because they're envious of others, they will attack other people. You cannot compliment somebody in front of a narcissistic person. If you do, they'll turn around and shame you, or they'll turn around and claim that it's, if you comment on somebody that's had new windows, oh, they're nice windows. Yeah, they're not as good as mine. Oh, they've got a nice car. I wonder how they've managed to afford that. I bet they got some inheritance. Some people have all the luck, don't they? Well, mine's better. I had to work harder for mine. So you cannot compliment somebody else in front of a narcissist. However, they will do so to you, but they do it in a manner purposefully, intentionally, to tear strips off you, to make you feel bad. So they'll pick on any little insecurity they know within you, and they will use that to praise somebody else in front of you. So when you naturally become offended because of their intent behind the behaviour and go and speak to them about this, they are going to accuse you of being too sensitive, of having your insecurities, which you may well have. They're not going to help you with these. They're going to hinder them, and they're going to make you feel worse. You have to recognise this. So sometimes you just have to turn around to a narcissistic person and say, oh, thank you for your advice. I will go and work on that. What you need to go and work on is adjusting your life away from that person. Have a strong enough desire to know within yourself that you deserve to be treated better than that. So just say, oh, thank you. I shall go and work on that. A narcissist hears that you're thanking them and that you're taking their advice on board, and they appreciate it. And now, yes, you don't want to get a narcissist thinking that they're the bee's knees. However, they think that anyway. You're looking for phrases to disarm them. When they are attacking other people, when they are envious of others, when they are bringing other people down, it can be natural to want to defend the other person and say, well, perhaps they're having a tough time. Perhaps this is happening, perhaps that. When in actual fact, a narcissist then takes that as you've turned against them. Oh, I knew you'd take their side. They get offended and they then seek to punish you, to get one over on you. So sometimes you just have to turn around and say, that's an interesting perspective. And if they're going to continue, just say, tell me more. Let them do the talking. Disarm them by letting them do the talking. Narcissistic people often do to you what protects them, and often do to you what they don't like being done to themselves. So if they've been caught out on something and they don't want to be called out on this, they're going to change the subject. They're going to make the conversation very difficult. They're going to get you to do all the talking so that they can just do the listening and pick at the points they can use to attack you. So when it comes to a narcissistic person who's trying to drag you into that non-productive argument, you can just stand there and say, tell me more. And let them do the talking. They feel understood. They feel validated. They feel heard. Again, watch your tone. Be careful with your answers. And let them do the majority of the talking. Don't take what they say personally until you can find a safe way out of the situation. When discussing anything with a narcissistic person that can potentially cause a narcissistic injury, the phrases that you need to disarm them are saying things that start with, I understand, so they feel understood. I agree, so they feel like you are taking their side. Tell me more, so they feel validated, they feel like you're interested. It's very challenging dealing with those who are incredibly insincere people. You cannot have sincere communication with them. It's incredibly draining dealing with those who are going to use your emotions to provoke a reaction from you. So the best method to deal with narcissistic people is don't. These phrases are to disarm them, not to attack them, not to make yourself feel better. They're to get you out of the situation, get yourself to safety. and then find a way to limit contact with them, and if at all possible, go no contact with them. When you are with a narcissistic person that suffered a narcissistic injury, that's going into narcissistic rage, the last thing you want to do is poke the bear. The last thing you want to do is get them to see red, because then they are going to attack you, and they're not going to be very pleasant in the ways that they do this. If anyone else has any other phrases they noticed helped them disarm a narcissistic person, please add those into the comments. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.